Well, another Knox County resident who knows firsthand the gift of life is Katrina Memering. Katrina received a successful double lung transplant 14 years ago. Born with cystic fibrosis, she has dealt with medical issues that come with the condition all her life, almost losing her life before receiving her donated lungs. Since then, Katrina has lived a very full life. She and her husband adopted the first of their 2 children shortly after her transplant, and she even has maintained a life as an avid runner.
Having that transplant 14 years ago really was hard. I've had a lot of survivor's guilt. It turns out that my donor was 14 years old. Knowing that my donor was 14 and that he had a life that he could have lived, without issue, without trouble, without fear, and knowing something happened that ended that without any notice, that he didn't get the chance. I think that's what pushed me a lot to do the tries and the halves and the 5Ks, is to go above and beyond what I thought I could, because he didn't have the opportunity to do it.
Katrina has enjoyed so much in life since that life-saving transplant, but now, after the years of healthy living with anti-rejection medicines and medical monitoring, her doctors say she desperately needs a new kidney. And to acquire a kidney donation from a deceased donor could take 3 to 5 years, time Katrina's doctors say she doesn't have. So a living donor is her best bet, and anyone out there, even you, could be the match Katrina is looking for. Katrina says she's not really comfortable with putting her situation on center stage, but she knows this is necessary to find a living donor and to be able to keep being there for her husband and children. So social media posts are circulating within our community and beyond, petitioning anyone and everyone to go through the process to see if they could be the match Katrina needs. But Katrina doesn't want anyone to see her story and feel bad for her.
I don't want pity. There's nothing to pity me for. I've gotten a second chance that I was never promised. And I have 2 kids that we adopted that I was never promised I'd even be a mom. But I've gotten that, and that's a huge blessing. I married a man that loves me, even though he knew from the beginning that this could be a possibility. Sadness does nothing for me. I want prayer and I want action, and I want to know what I'm dealing with so I can fight it head on. Will we get through this? Will I get another chance? I feel in my soul that I will, but I can't say it until he brings it.
Katrina is at peace with her situation, and she says her faith is what brings her that peace.
The fact that I can open my eyes and I can move my feet and I can move around, that's motivation. Waking up and hearing my kids, even though sometimes they're squabbling, that's motivation. It's the small things. It's the things that I never was promised and that I have surrounding me and I have with me every day of every second. Because there's never a day that you don't think about transplant. There's never a day I don't think about it. I see the scars every time I get ready. I'm reminded every time I take my meds. There are reminders every day, all day, that I was not supposed to be here, that I am not supposed to be living this life that I am. But, there's those little mustard seeds, and they're teeny tiny, and you would barely see them if you blinked.
If you are interested in seeing if you could be the match Katrina is looking for, we have all the information you need to do just that on our website, vincentspbs.org.